Let's get back to the Pope. Cardinals have not yet selected a new Pope. The second vote of the day just wrapped up just before the show started, with black smoke rising from the top of the Sistine Chapel. The ballots are only burned after 2 rounds of voting unless a selection is made. Yesterday, we also saw black smoke rise above the Sistine Chapel. If we see white smoke, it signifies there is a new leader of the Catholic Church. A 2/3 majority needs to be reached in order for that to happen. 2 more votes will be held today. Out of the more 250 cardinals in Vatican City, only 133 are eligible to vote. Under those the age of 80 can cast a ballot.
Hey, Mike Barnicle, obviously you're following this pretty closely. Right now, what's going on? I know there are a lot of different segments of the Catholic Church that are pushing and pulling. What's the word that you've heard?
Well, there were 2 votes this morning. They break for lunch, and there'll be 2 votes later this afternoon. And we'll look for the black or the white smoke. I think what's going on is largely ideological, and the direction of the church going forward. Do they continue with Pope Francis's opening up of the church, his liberalization in the views of many, or do they return to a more conservative papacy? We're going to find that out. We're going to find out the impact of the global South on the Catholic Church. I mean, the growth of the Catholic Church is much higher in the global South than it is in Europe or the United States of America, and that, I think, is going to have an impact on the vote and on the next papacy.
Let's go to the Vatican. That's where we find Bishop Robert Barron of the Diocese of Winona-Rochester in Minnesota. Bishop, thanks for being with us today. So black smoke, we still wait for the white smoke, reminding our viewers the last 2 popes were elected on the 2nd day, and we are now in day 2. So we'll see what happens after this lunch break. What is your sense, though? Obviously, you're not in the room. We don't know how these votes are going exactly, but what is your sense of how you believe the church may go after Pope Francis in terms of its choice of a new pontiff?
Well, right, that's the big question. In terms of the electoral process, things are kind of going as you'd expect. We'd be very surprised if there was white smoke either last night or today. Now, possibly the end of today. Pope Francis was elected on that 5th ballot. My guess is tomorrow. I think it might be a little more divided conclave. We heard during the general congregations, those discussions before the conclave, that there were disagreements about the direction of the church. Some wanted to go, very much with the Francis momentum. Others felt this was problematic. One of the difficulties in talking about the church is we tend to look at it through our Western lens, and so we have certain preoccupations, usually around questions of sexual morality. But go to Africa, for instance, where the church is burgeoning, but also under great persecution. Go to the church in Asia, and you see the interreligious dialogue is of huge importance. So they're considering all these different dimensions of the church's life. And there's something, happening inside the walls of that Sistine Chapel right now, and we'll see. My sense is it might be a little more divided than it was last time. Also, I'd say, to speak politically, last time the more liberal faction was better organized. This time I know the conservatives were better organized going into the conclave. That could lead to a little more of a deadlock, but we'll see.
So, Bishop, talk to us, if you will, about the nature of the cardinals who were there in the Sistine Chapel in this conclave. As you say, certainly different factions, but also so many of them, this is the first time they've been through this. Pope Francis appointed so many new cardinals who are now potentially wanting to carry forth his legacy. So talk to us about these new cardinals, but also, as you say, that so many of them are coming from parts of the world which have been underrepresented in previous conclaves.
That, I think, is the central dynamic of this conclave. So it is the most international for sure, but also people that have very little experience of Rome, many of them. That's why they extended the congregations for a couple of days. And that was at the behest, they say, of some of these more developing world cardinals, because they wanted to know each other better. And they don't know the Roman scene as well. Now, depending on your perspective, that's good or bad. Could they be manipulated by those who do know the system better? Do they represent sort of a breath of fresh air into a somewhat musty system? So depending on your take, but I think it will certainly influence the movement of this conclave. We're moving away from a very Eurocentric or Western oriented conclave to a much more global one. And I think with a lot of them, we don't really know what their views are. Francis seemed to prioritize getting people from diverse places on the map. But do they all share his perspective on everything? Some do. I'm not sure about others. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Bishop, I'm so glad, and I want to underline this for those of us that are viewing. So many people in the West, so many people in America, so many people that follow this in the news, they focus on one small set of issues. And you were talking about sexual morality, sexual issues, whether it's abortion, whether it's same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
But for most of the world, especially in this, we keep talking about the South, they talk about that, but you're right. The focus is on religious persecution. It's on those Matthew 25 issues where Jesus talks about feeding the poor, clothing the naked, bringing hope to the hopeless. Underline that fact for us and explain to Americans that are watching right now. This isn't just about what somebody's position on abortion is going to be or on same-sex marriage.
Right, and that's the beautiful part of the Francis papacy. I think they all want to carry forward. He wanted a church that turned with a merciful face toward the world, that was the friend of the marginalized, the friend of the poor, and the forgotten. And I think that's the great legacy of Pope Francis. As far as I'm concerned, they all want that to continue. It's in regard to some other issues that I think they will find greater division. But conclaves often involve, taking what they consider the best of the previous papacy and then maybe trying to correct difficulties in the previous papacy, and it's a playing out of those issues. There's also the question of the personalities involved. So one thing is the position the cardinal holds. The other one is the cardinal himself. What kind of person is he? Even his age, even his health, even your personal interactions with him. Often at the general congregations, the cardinal will say, "That guy gave a speech," or "I just sensed something in him that I thought was, worthy of a pope." So all those factors are at play, as in any political reality. And this one on a very small scale, you got 133 electors, and they're weighing all these different elements.
It's amazing. Bishop Robert Barron, thank you so much for helping walk us through this all.